this drill, Alex is going to be using a stationary, one ball, pound high to low dribble. This is going to really focus on your ball control, especially when pounding to bring the basketball back up. Now make sure you keep the ball out of your palm of your hand and pound the basketball hard. Let's take a look at it. Drill, Alex is going to be using a stationary one ball dribble to do continuous crossovers going from high to low. Now make sure you really focus on your ball control and move the basketball fast from side to side. Let's take a look at it. In this drill, Alex is going to be using a stationary one ball dribble pound to kill. Now make sure you really focus on killing the basketball hard and bringing it up out of that low dribble using your fingertips machine gun dribble. Let's take a look at it. In this drill, Alex is going to be using an on-the-move single basketball side shuffle. Now make sure you push off of your outside foot while staying low and keeping the ball outside of your body, which is mimicking keeping the ball away from the defense. Move fast, pound the basketball hard, and keep it out of the palm of your hand. Let's take a look at it. In this drill, Alex is going to be using an on-the-move single basketball, two dribbles around one leg from the front. Now make sure you control the ball while it's in your hand, keep your crosses nice and tight, and keep the ball out of the palm of your hand. Let's take a look at it. this 3-cone drill, Alex is going to be using a stutter step crossover to explode by his defender. Now make sure you emphasize your stutter step to freeze your defender before crossing it over tight and low to change direction and explode by your defender. Let's take a look at it. In this 3-cone drill, Alex is going to be using a retreat dribble crossover. Now this is to emphasize retreating out of a double team, crossing over to change direction and exploding in the opposite direction. Now make sure you keep your retreat dribble on your outside hip away from the double team and use your crossover tight and low to change direction and explode by them. Let's take a look at it. In this wall touches drill, Alex is going to be crossing the basketball in front while touching the wall in between. This is a great drill to work on hand speed. Keep your head up throughout the drill and cross the basketball fast to challenge your hand speed. Let's take a look at it. In this wall touches drill, Alex is going to be crossing the basketball back and forth between his legs while touching the wall in between. Make sure you move the ball fast so that you challenge your hand speed while touching the wall. Let's take a look at it. In this complex drill, Alex is going to be executing a combo move on an invisible defender. Now we're going to use a cone for this drill to mark the defender. If you don't have a cone, just use an invisible defender. Make sure you stack your combo moves one on top of the other to challenge your handle and force yourself to gain those handles and execute a nice tight dribble around a defender. Let's take a look at it. In this complex drill, Alex is going to be using ball screen dribbling moves to counter each of the defense's actions. Now, each one that we go through, you need to visualize the defender in front of you as you're practicing this. Let's take a look at each of the ball screen scenarios. For the first ball screen scenario, Alex is going to dribble down below the screener. He's going to set up his man and he's going to explode off of this screen. In this example, the cone is the screener. So if I were to stand here, Alex is now coming down below the screen and he's exploding right off of my hip. into a downhill position right to the basket. Let's take a look at it.
As Napier now moves ahead of Kemba Walker on the all-time UConn assist list.
In the next ball screen scenario, Alex is going to refuse the ball screen. So if I'm the screener and I'm waiting for Alex, he's going to come down, set his man up, but as soon as he starts to come off, he notices that his defender is now cheating high or already trying to fight through the screen. Instead of now coming off the screen, Alex is going to refuse it and he's going baseline straight to the basket. So let's take a look at it. Our next ball screen scenario, Alex is going to use the first screen and then he's going to use a re-screen to come back in the opposite direction. So if Alex comes down, sets up his man to use the first screen, explodes off of my hip to use the first screen, I'm going to come back and re-screen for Alex so that he changes direction and is coming back off of a second screen. So this is a screen and re-screen scenario. Let's take a look at it.